Chef Cell was recorded on a cell phone in front of a fake audience.
Hey guys, Chef Cell right here. Gotcha. Hello fake audience. Hello real audience. Hello YouTube. Hello Facebook and all the other stuff I'm in. Because we are going around the country once again. This is week 3 of the most Googled by state recipes requested by you. Arizona was still in the A's. They wanted a fried breakfast chimichanga recipe. Let's get started. So I have salt and pepper on this chopped up russet, as I said. As that fries, still sounds like rain. It's kind of nice, right? Here's what we have. White onion, chopped up, half a white onion. Boom. Garlic cloves, 3, maybe 4, okay? You want to put it in the grinder if you want. That's what I did. Jalapeno, 1, halved and chopped up small. Everything's chopped up small. You want to fit a lot of stuff into these babies. You know what I'm saying? Little cumin and some oregano, half a teaspoon each, and again half a teaspoon each of chili powder and garlic powder. Drain that 15-ounce can of black beans and also rinse them, all right? Get all that gunk off of them, the starches. 8 eggs, beat them up. 1/4 cup of milk's gonna go in there. That's for the egg part. It's the base of the whole show. And the fried chimichanga. 1 pound. I have beef chorizo. You can do pork if you want. I found this not in sausage form. If you do, just slice that sausage just a little bit and open it up, crumble it in. We're gonna make a crema, yeah, avocado crema. That goes on the top of the burrito. In there, we have, well, pretty much packed about 3/4 cup of cilantro. Chop it up. If you chop up some of the stems, it's okay. Stems taste the same way, but don't do it with parsley. I'm telling you, big mistake. Boom. Cup of yogurt. I'm using Greek. Juice of a lime, like I said, all in the Cuisinart. And 2 ripe avocados. But we'll deal with that later. Now, as far as the topping, and besides the crema, should I stop saying it that way? Right? Besides the crema, we got some jalapeno peppers in the jar there. And also we have halved grape tomatoes and a little crumbled goat cheese. You could use the Mexican cheese. I forgot the name. I'm sorry. I'll look it up. I'll put it in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's get the business out of the way, please, because it brings me to you each week. If you decide to see the next one of this series, which is pretty cool, okay? Right down here. Yeah, right down there. Subscribe and then hit the bell and you'll be notified every time the next one comes up, okay? What's going to go on next week? I'm not telling you. All right. And that's pretty much it. So let me finish with these potatoes. You want to get them brown, I will show you that part, and then we'll be back. Now the potatoes, as you could see, they're starting to crisp up a little bit. So we're going to keep them going. See how some of them are getting nice and brown, and they call it caramelized. I just say crispy. You know, I'm old-fashioned. What can I tell you? So let's let that go, and then we're going to add some of these little babies, huh? Look at that. It's a jalapeno. I got to get over it, you know? I get so excited. All right, so let's put that in now. Beautiful. And we're going to mix that around, and then we'll come to the next step. So now I'm mixing the jalapenos, a jalapeno, with the potato. I mean, it's not a big deal. You know, I say that a lot, right? But none of this is a big deal. I don't care if you're a big fancy, smancy, schmancy, oh, mademoiselle, we have some delicious mademoiselle. Oh, wait, that was Spanish. Wait. Oh, well, we're doing a Mexican dish, so. The point being, do I ever have a point? I don't know. The point being, don't be afraid of making anything, really. I mean, this is very easy stuff. So I'm gonna let this go, and then I'm gonna come back when everything's softened and sweated down a bit. Then we're gonna put the onions in there. We're gonna basically just fry everything up, but try to keep it a little separate because we wanna build this chimichanga, right, on these little babies. You can use anything you want. We are gluten-free here in the house. My wife has a bit of a sensitivity. So we're using these interesting things. They're more wraps, right, than tortillas. But you can use a regular, go get a regular 8-inch tortilla. That's fine. You can get a 12-inch if you want some nice big honking ones. But remember, we're going to roll it up, right? And then we're going to fry them after we kind of stick all the stuff in there. And it's all here. I mean, it's all here. I showed you already. And then we're going to make the topping one by one. So I'm going to say that this is pretty much ready now. You see, you're not going to get all of the sides of that potato totally browned. But it's going through a whole nother, that's a word, cooking process when we fry these babies after they're stuffed. So just wait until those, see the jalapenos, they're soft now. That's what you want. Crunchy jalapenos, some people like them. Not for this dish, okay? Okay? Don't be mean. Don't be mean, don't be selfish. All right, so here we go. Carefully get that in a bowl. And by the way, keep your eye on those little jalapenos because they do jump out of the pan a little bit. Back on that medium high, let's put this potato jalapeno over there. A little more oil, please. And next up is that half of a white onion that I chopped up pretty finely. And we're probably shimmering on the oil right away. And just put it in there, don't be afraid. A lot of you have written in and said you're already scared. Don't be, don't be. I'm your friend, trust me. Okay, how we doing so far, Arizona, okay? This is what you wanted, and I'm giving it to you. So we're gonna go until they're translucent. Remember the old bathroom windows? You can see in them, but you really can't see in them. Not that I would know. You know, softened, I'll put it that way, okay? Softened. And we're gonna season in layers, a little bit of salt for each layer. Maybe a half a teaspoon each, it's fine. You can also re-season later, a little bit of pepper. And now we got the garlic, a couple of cloves like I told you. I put it through a garlic press actually. I said I grated it before, but that was just not right. And that's gonna go in. Always put the garlic after the onions have kind of gone through a bit of the cooking cycle, I guess you'd say. Because otherwise your garlic's just gonna burn on you by the time it catches up with the onions. You're dead in the water. Or in the agua, as we say here in Mexico. So let's mix that around. The garlic is now aromatic. The garlic is an aromatic. Speaking of aromatics, we have that pretty much close to a teaspoon. I might have said a half a teaspoon, but close to a teaspoon of this cumin here. And about a half a teaspoon of oregano. Get that in there, and if you've gone to the Indian restaurants, you can always smell the spices when you walk in because they cook the spices. We're going to do that here too. So about a minute in, you're going to start smelling them being aromatic. It's a big aromatic show. Well, we are doing Arizona, aromatic. What's next? Sorry. I get excited. What can I tell you? All right, looks good. Now I'm going to add just a little more oil. This is not a usual thing, but these onions have absorbed a little bit of that oil. I'm only going 1 to 2 teaspoons at a time. I don't want to make it all gooey with oil and yucky and all that. So the reason why I did add that is we have some browning of meat to do here. And I'm going to add them right. I'm going to add this. See it? Can they see that? Chorizo? Or you can say chorizo, which is really the right way to say it. I'm going to add it right in with these onions, garlic, and spices. And you want to do it, I call it the twist method. Yeah, see? Take your spatula and twist it. Just down and twist. And keep mixing everything up. And I'll show it to you when it's all browned and ready to take off the heat. And then we go to the next step. We make the eggs and we do the beans. I mean, easy stuff. So as you can see, the meat is giving up a lot of oil here. And I don't want a lot of oil going into these things, or it's going to be like when you take the Chinese food home in the old days in the paper bag and it kind of leaks through. You don't want that with your chimichangas. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strain this and get that oil out of there. All right, so I have my potato, jalapeno, chorizo, the spices. Everything is kind of just hanging out in the dugout, swinging a bat. In the meantime, before I do the beans, I'm going to finish this filling. These are the 8 eggs. Remember, you just kind of beat them up. About 1/4 of a cup milk. Gives it a little creaminess, gives it a little body. And I kept this pan hot. Always keep the pan on, but remember you have the pan on. You know, you don't go, so anyway, honey, Don't do that. I have done it. Anyway, cooking spray in the pan a little bit. Non-stick, please, and you'll hear it. Hear that? That's good stuff. All right, about a half a teaspoon of salt. Couple of hits of the pepper. 7, 8, 9, 10, half squeeze. Now watch this. That whole mixture that I talked about goes right in. Now you're going to scramble it all up together with the meat, with the eggs, and the potatoes. And you want to keep going until the eggs are not running. And you kind of dried off a little bit of that meat juice, but you don't want it dry. And it's not going to be dry when you're done with the cooking process, so don't worry. You're going to be like, oh, looks like it's drying out. It's not drying out. I'm going to keep doing this. Lifting it over itself. Eggs, spices, Mexican beef, jalapeno. I just can't. There you go. There's the egg and the beef and the jalapenos and all that delicious stuff with the onions and the potatoes and the spices. So that's going to be part of main ingredient, actually. Now here's what I talked to you about before. Remember, I rinsed off these black beans, a 15-ounce can. I'm going to throw them in here. And I'm going to add a little garlic powder, like I told you before also. And some chili powder. I got a pan going here. We just want to basically mash these up. I'll show you how to do that. It's very easy. Take a fork and get in there and mash them. That's all. Okay, see? All mashed up for your mashing pleasure. Simple. And I'm going to go about a half a teaspoon of salt. That's about it. Even though there's probably salt in all these canned products that we buy today. Taste it. Just give it a taste, right? And you'll find out whether you need to salt it a little bit more or not. This is ready to go into our medium flame pan. I'm not going to add any oil to the pan. I'm just going to kind of little cooking spray because there's oil in it already from the meat and I don't want a soggy chaga. And really just want to cook off these spices a little bit. That's really all you want to do. All right? There's your beans. See? Smashed up. Pasty. Kind of like a weak Play-Doh, right? An edible Play-Doh at that. Spatula. And I have these special wraps that we got for Nance. You can use a round tortilla. It's okay. It's all the same thing. And we're just going to assemble it. So we're going to paste, the bean paste, as a base. What am I, Dr. Seuss? Anyway, see what I'm doing? I'm just doing it any old way. So I didn't, see what I did? I just kind of put it in a couple of spots because it's all going to roll up anyway. But this is the star of the show here. And kind of just give it a little chop if it's been sitting around a little bit to keep it, I know, ladies, moist. What's wrong with that word? Anyway. And again, keep it away from these edges if you can, and try not to make it like a bump. Try to make it straight like a log. It'd be easier to roll up, all right? So I'm starting the roll, and as soon as the first edge starts hitting the burrito, yes, the burrito, fold it in, and you can do it slow. I'm doing it slow because I'm not that great at this either, so don't worry about it. And now the other side, nice and tight now. Finish it up, nice and tight. And there you go. However many this makes, I really can't tell you. It depends on how big your tortillas are and how much you want to put in there. But it's going to look like an egg roll. See? Yeah, I'll show you. Like a tight little package. Kind of like an egg roll. And the seam is underneath there. And we're going to do the rest of these. I'm going to get my oil going. We're not going to kind of deep fry them. I'm going to get like a saute pan with some nice sides, you know, a couple of inch. Maybe there's 2 or 3 at a time. And just get them brown. Just get them brown. That's all you want to do. Everything's cooked already, okay? And then we're going to make our sauce. Yeah. How are you doing there, cilantro? Okay, I kept a couple out here that I rolled. Just enough to show you. Yes. Everybody knows how to cube, right? An avocado in the skin. Try it again. We'll show you every time, not a problem. Turn the avocado, not the knife. Knife down. Do your twist. Smack it with the knife, twist, and out. Push it with your thumb. Or there's other ways you can do that too, but that's the way I do it. All right, take the back of a fork if you don't want to waste a butter knife and just cut it into cubes. Now this doesn't matter how it looks because we are throwing it in the, they call it a food processor. It's Cuisinart. Yeah, we can still say that, right? We can still say Cuisinart, right? Meanwhile, my oil's heating up. If you want a temperature, you want to go 350, but it's about a quarter of an inch tops of oil in that pan. We just want to kind of, we don't want to really bathe them. We just want them to stick their ankles in. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's put this avocado in here. And we'll do the same here. Just very rough chop and scoop it right out. It doesn't have to look pretty because it's all getting mashed up. All right, the avo is down. That's right, avo. Look at that. Cilantro, I told you about that before. Throw it in. It's a lot of cilantro, but this is Mexico, dude. Or actually, it's Arizona, but it's Mexico. Let me check my oil. It's a way that I have, but if it shimmers a little bit, you're probably ready. So I want you to use the tongs. If I weren't doing my show, I would probably use my hands, but that's dumb. Do not do that. And stick it in. You can hear it, it's making a sizzle, okay? That's what you want. Don't crowd the pan, give me 2 or 3 at a time. Seam side down. Now these are very thin, the tortillas, quote unquote, they're really wraps that I'm using, the sandwich wraps. So it's browning already, so I gotta turn them fast. But yours are gonna take 2 or 3 minutes to brown, okay? And now they're on the second side. Then we'll continue making our sauce and get the toppings out, and you're done, I'm telling you. See how brown they're getting and delicious? That is all delicious stuff. And that's just the outside. Wait till you taste the inside. All right, let's get moving with this sauce. All right, so I had the cilantro in there from before, as you know. And now we have about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of this yogurt. As I said, I'm using Greek. Juice of a lime. And that's gonna coagulate everything together. In other words, it's going to mix better. I'm going to turn my last 2. All right, beautiful. All right, put the top back on this baby. All right, move it up here so you can see it. Beautiful. Ready to go. Let's pulse it. You should smell this. Just heaven, heaven. Look at that. All right, now we have our toppings. Like I said before, these are like pickled jalapenos. Very mild, don't worry about it, they're not so hot. I have a little bit more of this yogurt, but we're really not gonna need it because we have this delicious crema. And it's not pourable. So you can either put it on the side, like the fancy restaurants do, but I have to tell you, I'm going right in. And we'll put a couple of tomatoes on here, grape tomatoes that we had, and a couple of these jalapenos. It's just insane, just insane. Get some of this cheese on top, put it around the sides, do whatever you want. Beautifully delicious, beautifully gorgeous, fried chimichanga. Man. So before we cut it open, let's get this out of the way. Instagram.
You bad man, you very bad man, you very...
Anywho, let me slice this baby open. Oh. Thank you, Arizona. We'll be back next week. And remember, please subscribe and then hit the bell. And you will be notified on the next one. 1 a week. Wow, what do we have? 46 more, right? 46 more weeks. The Fried Breakfast Chimichanga. Thank you, Arizona. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube. And thank you, fake audience. I will see you next time.
Arizona, take off your rainbow shades.